what is it really about for them? It's about your masculinity, using your masculinity, hijacking your masculinity, and defining your masculinity on their terms. And what is their terms? It's all about serving them. Serving them. What's best for them? What's best for women? What's best for capitalism? What's best for these wars? What's best for all of this? But nothing about it is what's best for you as a man, as a young man, as an individual. So they really look at men purely as disposable tampons, sacrificial animals for the greater good of women, society. They put all these standards, traditional values on men, traditional expectations, even though the social contract is long gone. They expect you to be this, that, whatever. But where's these same expectations for the young ladies coming up? In fact, in any instances, many of them were just raised to absolutely despise their own fathers, to hate manhood, to hate masculinity, to choose to bear, to believe that men should be born in jail and earn their way out. Radicalized, liberally indoctrinated feminists with ideologies of purely just disobedience and just selfish, self-centered, raised to focused on themselves, their careers, no obligation to have kids. In fact, many of them love to delete babies in mass numbers. So this is what the women are indoctrinated to be free. Obviously, there's a financial motive in that because women spend a tremendous amount of money. And there's a system that wants to pander to women. Now, with inflation in the economy, things have become a little bit more difficult to keep the spending machine and the debt machine going. So they bring out agents of the government like Scott Galloway because the young men, accordingly, are not performing well. Hey, granted, a peaceful life can talk to young men because I'm going to talk to young men about themselves. Okay, well, guys, let's go down and play some 5-on-5 at the court. Boom, a drove of them shows up. Let's go fix this engine, dudes. Can you help me with this engine on this project? When it comes to things involving their intellect, problem solving, fixing things, creating things, building things, they're dialed in. But what Scott Galloway doesn't understand, because it's about them as individuals, it's about their own self-esteem. And that's how men communicate and reach with each other, usually through work, projects, sports, accomplishing goals and tasks. Not out here because again, when I talk about manhood's development, your health, your wealth, your finances, it's about that man and that man living free. It's about his own development. You notice I don't even show women in this video. That doesn't mean I'm not with women. You never see them in this video because I want to keep the focus on men, you as a man, as a sovereign being, as an individual, and your own personal development, your own personal self-love, your own personal self-esteem, instead of worry about women. Women is just a side effect of a man's ambitions and success. Anyhow, 90% of your life really should be, in my opinion, should be about your purpose and, and your hobbies and your passions. Because like you said, I like the old ways of men being identified by what they do and their purposes. The guy may be a blacksmith, the greatest carpenter of the wall, the greatest engineer and scientist of the world. But we have these men out here that have really, they're just worse than the feminists. Define men's purpose on this earth, or add masculinity in there and add a value to masculinity by your ability to acquire old, blown out, pounded out, pre-owned box. You jellybacks make me sick. Sick. Jellyback men. And that's what we have. And many times in the culture of men that define their masculinity, what used to be defined by a rite of passage among men, with women not even involved in it, now has been turned into your ability to acquire a pre-owned box that's worth $50 on the street, if I'm being generous. And you have Scott Galloway telling the young men that they need to be better for young women that are worse. To qualify for the box that I see out here in the street, a guy like me would have to sell my house, go into bankruptcy, start eating out the trash can at the local buffet down. I'd have to literally go homeless, roll myself in the dirt outside, not take baths in a year, and just become disgusting to qualify for the box that's out here in the street. A homeless man, a broke homeless man eating out the trash can is overqualified for what's between the legs of some of these women out here today that Scott Galloway wants men to be outstanding for. You have lost your damn mind, Scott. Get your head out of your ass. Sexual liberation has ruined the dating market. Sexual liberation and feminism. I mean, the women are getting ran through when they first damn teenage years, not to mention when they're in their 20s. Oh my God. The married guy is getting a woman that is so viciously and vigorously pounded out. Oh my, that guy is literally getting the worst of the women at the end of the rainbow, and he's paying the highest price. Marriage, long-term commitment. And she's got all the demonic spirits of all the men that have tossed her around and did things to her in her life. What do you think she's going to do to that guy? She's going to make his life a miserable hell. And that's why I say right now with social media and delusion out here, is a mental health crisis, Scott. Don't you get it? I get it. You're an agent of the system, agent of corporation, agent of the government. But what do you want these now, I say young men should be squared away. Notice I say squared away. That means you should have your life in order. You should be about your purpose. You should be competent in whatever you do, your profession, your goals, your ambition, your training, your skills. But none of that is centered around you acquiring some used pre-owned box. Unless you need to get a mental health evaluation, you're crazy. You listen to some of these guys, even some of the guys in the red pill, I have beef with them. And what is this bullshit, goofy shit they be talking about with this looks maxing and all this garbage? Basically, you're performing for old, worn out, pre-owned. Get a life. You're supposed to be squared away with your clothes, squared away with your looks, squared away with your hygiene, squared away with everything else. But that doesn't mean a man needs to be in the mirror fondling himself all day long like a bitch. I mean, what kind of goofy shit? Guys be squared away with their suit, their tie, their attire, their waistline, their fitness. That's about you being a squared away person in your own personal self-esteem. Not about, I mean, if you attract women as a side effect of that, great, wonderful. But if the center of your life is all about acquiring pre-owned, well, shit, you might as well just level up and become extremely successful as a man and just go to the brothel. Or go walk down Walking Street of Pattaya. You know, if that's what your goal is in life, is to acquire women and pre-owned, you're wasting your damn time trying to pay these guys game courses and all the other crap like that. That doesn't even make any logical sense to someone like me. I mean, you sitting around the mirror fondling yourself. And let me tell you something. You get into a relationship with a woman, you want to lose a woman's respect quickly? Not that I care. Spend more time in the mirror than her. Nothing drives a woman up more than a guy that's more feminine than her. Not that you shouldn't be squared away and take care of yourself. You sitting in the mirror fondling yourself for an hour, you know, that's I'm not saying, you know, what are you trying to do? Now, if you're naturally outside pulling an engine out of a car and she sees you, that might turn her on, some masculine shit. But sitting around fondling yourself like a bitch, what the hell is wrong, man? I don't know what. This is what happens when the feminine gets into corrupt masculine spirits and masculinity, and we've created this environment of goofiness. And I understand the profit motive that a lot of men have by selling a certain product. Be better with women if you do this. Be better with women if you do that. Not understanding that you're dealing with a mental health crisis right now. You get some of these women because of social media and the extreme amount of attention and validation and simping that they get. And every day it's a gynocentric environment where nobody holds women accountable and they can do whatever they want and say whatever they want. They can be whatever they want. I mean, they commit crimes and lie on people and nobody prosecutes them for it. I see the video today. The chick is breaking the guy's windshield and his side mirrors and damaging his car, vandalism and criminal mischief. And the women in the county, yeah, he deserved that. He deserved that. You've developed an environment of no accountability. What are you going to think you're going to have? You're going to have a bunch of people with narcissistic personality disorders, self-worshiping, borderline personality disorders, mental health problems. You think you're going to live in peace? Plus, they've been raised to hate men, indoctrinated that men are these evil patriarchs that are oppressing them and that serving men is the epitome of abuse. You think those individuals are going to live with you peacefully in their house and you're going to enjoy a nice, peaceful existence? And that's what Scott's not focused on. They have to become better people. You put some feminists in there with you, you might as well just go ahead and go get yourself a wild hyena and throw in the house with you. Then you complain about your ass getting bitten up and gnawed on in the middle of the night. You lost your mind. You think you're gonna live a good life? You think a male lion can tame or get a hyena to submit to them in a house? What are those two species don't even do anything, they're enemies in the wild. That's not no lioness. Those women are raised to hate men. We love women. I love the ladies. But you got to be careful which one you choose, especially one that's not raised in patriarchy or with a strong masculine father. Not some man who treated her like a princess, or one of these jellyback simps that raise these daughters that are even if you raise them a certain way, you got to worry about them going to school and getting indoctrinated by the ideologies in the school system. The colleges are gone. I mean, there's woke land going to these colleges and universities with the indoctrination and these liberal feminist ideologies that's being taught in this college. So you're going to get somebody that's heavily indoctrinated with a certain mindset mentality. You're going to live with somebody that has a persecution mentality, that sees you as an enemy, thinks that you are her oppressor, and serving you is monstrous. But they will have an OnlyFans account and serve you that way. See, they were raised to be corporate slaves, to work for the masters, not to to worship society, to work for society. They'll serve you good at a restaurant. Shoot, they'll come and clean your house. They'll do anything for money, be paid. But if you told them they have to listen to their husbands and serve them, blasphemy. That's the evil patriarchy and oppression. Because they've been programmed to see that being in any type of submission or servitude to a man or serving a man. Oh, you said the word obey in marriage, honor and obey, even though it's in the Bible that women are supposed to, the women, the ones who are Christian. I'm not a religious person. Please don't come for me. You said a man is the head of a woman. But of course, you say that in the church or with these Christian feminists, you will get crucified. They'll be like, you evil patriarchal monster. But at the same time, they'll expect you to put your life on the line and die and go down in the ocean with the Titanic and go off and fight all these wars. And of course, you got to pay 100% of the bills, because a man that doesn't pay 100% of bills is not a real man. They'll come on, call me all kinds of names. They come in here, call me all kinds of names. Between Gary Coleman, Mr. Cooper, incel, right? Like I'm invisible to women. I walk out the door, I'm 6'8" tall, in shape. I'm retired already. I'm invisible to women. There's none of them see me all day long. I'm just walking around like invisible. And even then, I don't want none of that action. I'm not living with them. You're crazy. It'd be one special woman for me to be living with her. She'd have to have the saintly, calm, peaceful life spirit for me to cohabitate with a woman. Especially, she got to go through a screening process, see if she doesn't have any of that crazy hyena spirit in her. You know what I mean? Like indoctrinated with liberal ideology or what. I ain't trying to listen to that shit. I'd rather be in my garage with my tools, building and creating things, than to sit around listening to her. I'm not your man, bitch. I'm in love with peace. I have a peaceful sexual lifestyle. So in that regard, moving right along. But the type of mindset and mentality they have towards men is really a battle to capture and redefine your masculinity. Turn you into that good old boy, disposable tampon. Yeah, we're gonna get you to serve society. Get in the house, and then you see that masculine female in there, that wife telling you what to do. We're gonna shop in today. We're gonna spend some money. We're gonna support capitalism. We're gonna support the 1%, the oligarchs of this world, make them richer. I mean, Bezos can use another billion, but you need to get to work and work some overtime and make some extra money. Right. And that's why they really want men in control of certain things, because men will control the spending. And there would be discipline. Discipline is not good for the 1%. You need people spending money out here, spending a lot of money, you see? So all at the end of the day, it comes down to the money. All lies, truth, whatever. Show me the money, show me the books, and all the bullshit can be resolved real quick. I can even tell when you cook the books. So it's all in the numbers. But really, it's just a battle for who can take ownership and control your manhood and your masculinity. Clip your balls, put you under the leadership of the matriarchy, but also make you a good servant, because we need that money. Put you in we need that money to spend. If women don't have that money to spend, the whole system freezes up, period. And that's what they want men to be, just droids, walking around, eunuchs. I would say eunuchs is what they want, the unsullied. Serve, walk around like droids. Serve women, serve society, fight wars, die, fight wars, serve women, serve society. Put no expectations or no requirements on women. We're going to hold you to them old social contracts. And you can live your life in servitude and die a man who has never enjoyed his life and has lost his autonomy, goes to the grave with his balls clipped, and a life that he's lived for everybody else. And everybody else is going to sit over his grave and say what he did for them, but nothing what they did for him. And that's going to be your life if you follow their plan. That as a disposable tampon, a eunuch for society, where you don't get to enjoy any of your passions, your hobbies, your desires, or any plans you have for your life. Where you're going to be in a situation where your life is all about serving women. Good luck with that. And I think men are waking up to the reality of that and say, well, hold on here. What's in this for me? This ain't the 19th. You've raised women and cultured women to compete with us for jobs. They've fought for equality. They've fought to be equal to men. They're saying that they don't want to be led by men. They're using words like partner and egalitarianism. But they want to hold men to traditional standards? Like, hell no. Give them equality. Let them go out here in the Serengeti. And even with you guys, with the economy and the way things are, you'll be out here trying to listen to these women under duress, looking, all of a sudden they're talking about relationship and traditionalism. Women that have been out here enjoying sexual liberation, enjoying sexual freedom and feminism, and men are nothing, men are useless. Now they're talking about traditionalism and you paying all the bills after just saying they don't need no man, choosing the bear, saying how strong and independent they are. Now because, Trump won the election, and think about it. If Kamala Harris has won the election, imagine what they'd be saying about you guys. They'd be calling you all kinds of bum, loser, degenerate, you weak this and weak that. They will continue to do what they do, like what they've been doing. They would imagine the monsters. Social media has already created monsters and delusions. Imagine what they would be if they had their first time liberal president, female. They would be cooking y'all's ass. Dudes would be married, but they're getting their ass roasted. Single dudes, they'd be out here doing all kinds of craziness. Human resources, Me Too, all the complaints would be going up. You have the transgender people running around, bunch of dudes running around here, shoot, they'd be out here challenging women, telling them, yo, I'm a woman just like you. There'd be all kinds of craziness going on in this society if that woman won that election. Craziness. I know you guys, look, I'm not a political guy, or I'm not into any of that stuff, but I'm just saying, imagine the disrespect that would be given to the regular man. They're already disrespectful now because they don't think that women have to be anything to get a man. The average woman thinks she's, well, this delusion, 5 times better than the average man. And they don't think they have to do anything or offer you anything other than old, pre-owned, worn out, used box. And some of these goofy content creators are telling me, oh, you gotta be 5 times better than these women to get outcome, get used box. What sense does that make? Sometimes the answer is none of the above. I mean, what are you? You're a man. Like, I'm not taking that deal. Why would you can take none of the above. You know, Father Time is on your side. Your biological clock is not that of a woman. You got geriatric pregnancy at 35 or something? Shit, a dude can take 3 years off, 5 years off, and it don't affect nothing. Even me, look at me. I'm ancient old dude, 51 years old. If I really wanted to, I could start a whole new family. Even an old man like me, I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. They don't have that benefit or that ability. Let them sit on ice with their delusions. Let the economy work itself out, gentlemen. What is the rush? The world is your oyster. Jump on a flight, go travel somewhere. Take some time off. You know, enjoy all of the smiles of the globe and come back. You know, there's no rush for anything. For what? For who? For people who hate you? Yeah, right. Anyhow, it's time for me to get my day started. Peace and blessings to you guys. Make sure you hit the like button. If you want to support the channel, the link is down in the description. I'm out. Peace.